squeeze the door shut with the quietest click, breath brushing the microphone like the softest feather. Hi, I'm finally here, alone with you, heart fluttering like the wings of a moth trapped in the dark. And tonight I'm ready to share the secret I've never spoken aloud. Wow, it smells so cozy in here. Fresh linen and that faint vanilla candle you always light. I smooth the hem of my sweater and pretend I'm brave, but my palms are warm and my voice nearly trembles. I sit cross-legged on the carpet beside your chair so I can look up at you without having to meet your eyes too directly. You make a little space for me, shifting one cushion closer, and my shoulders relax a tiny bit. I've rehearsed this in my head while walking home from class, while waiting in line for coffee, even while brushing my teeth. But now the words scatter like dandelion fluff. Still, I promised myself I'd do this tonight. How was your day? Did the rain finally stop on your side of town? On my walk over, the pavements were glittering. Tiny city constellations that only appear after a storm. I imagined each puddle was a secret portal, and I'd step through the shiniest one to find you already waiting, holding 2 mugs of mint tea. Silly, right? But it made me smile the whole way. I know you had a long week, late meetings, screens, faceless calls. So I want tonight to feel different, just soft conversation, low lights, no rush. Before we dive any deeper, could you do me a tiny favor? Slide down to the comment section and whisper where you're listening from. I'm always amazed that one gentle recording can drift from this quiet room to apartments in Tokyo, attics in Berlin, porch swings in Sao Paulo. Tell me your corner of the map. I'll picture it glowing on an old brass globe next to my bed. I tuck a loose strand of hair behind my ear and finally let the confession peek out. I've always been shy, so shy that I memorize the shape of the words It's a small bonfire, safe but bright, and I can't hide its glow anymore. We settle deeper into the hush. You sip your drink, steam fogging the slightest circle on your lenses, and I watch it clear. Around us, the apartment is muted, fridge humming, radiator breathing slow and even, city traffic a lullaby in the distance. I trace the rim of my mug and imagine my voice floating across that thin curl of steam. I have this fantasy. I start, cheeks warming. It isn't wild or scandalous, but it feels important. I want to read you a story, one I've written but never shown anyone. I want to sit just like this, maybe closer, maybe with a blanket draped over both our legs. And while I read, I want you to feel every word, like a fingertip drifting down your arm. You adjust your posture, interest sparking behind your calm expression, and encourage me to go on. The nervous knot loosens, and sentences spill more smoothly. The story, I explain, isn't flashy, just two travelers sheltering in an abandoned greenhouse while rain drums on the cracked glass roof. They talk about constellations, about loneliness, about the way silence can be louder than thunder when two people dare to fill it together. I imagine tracing those constellations across your skin, my voice marking each star. I'd pause at the brightest one and let the name linger. Orion, Cassiopeia, until you exhale, and only then continue. I want to watch goosebumps ripple in slow motion each time suspense tightens. And when the travelers in my tale finally admit they don't want dawn to break, that dawn means parting. I'd whisper the lines so softly you'd have to lean in. You chuckle at my earnestness, and that sound knot stitches our shared quilt of comfort. Light humor sneaks in as I confess the embarrassing part. I recorded myself practicing, and on playback, I sound like a sleepy librarian, accidentally leaning too close to the mic. You grin. I grin back, relieved. Being able to laugh at myself makes the fantasy lighter, less intimidating. Time glides. My tea cools. Your eyelids droop just a fraction, lulled by cadence. I ask whether you'd like a preview of the story's first lines. is soothing, my imagery vivid. Each kind word is a gentle fingertip, coaxing a petal open. I return the affection, telling you how steady you make me feel, how your calm presence anchors my scattered thoughts. Say it, you prompt, voice barely above a hush. I swallow, nerves sparking. I want to read to you. I breathe out. My fingers twist in the thread of the blanket. You smile, patient. Tell me, you encourage, why this matters. I inhale the familiar vanilla linen air because my voice quivers with earnestness, because sharing words is like sharing breath. If I can hold your attention, cradle it in my hands for just a chapter, maybe you'll understand the map of my mind better than anyone ever has. I watch the thoughts settle behind your eyes. You nod once, slow, accepting. Say it again, you murmur. I want to read to you. A hush. Then relief floods me, sweet and light. It's said. The fantasy is no longer caged. We both bask in the glow of possibility. I dare to scoot closer, shoulder brushing your knee, and your hand comes to rest atop mine, weightless as silk. We start planning dimmer lights, maybe fairy strings draped above the headboard, the soft rustle of paper instead of a phone screen. You suggest matching mugs, and I laugh, because of course you'd think of that adorable detail. I imagine us curled up on a rainy evening, each clap of thunder stitching us tighter together beneath the blanket. As the night deepens, our voices grow thinner, more fluid, floating atop the hush like autumn leaves on a still pond. Compliments circle back and forth in a gentle current. You tell me my shy honesty is brave. I tell you, your patience feels like a knit scarf around my shoulders. The more we trade softness, the clearer the future scene becomes. It's a real, tangible shadow's brightest. Vulnerability can be the coziest blanket. A sleepy silence cuddles us. I brush the pad of my thumb over your knuckles and whisper final affirmations. You deserve stories told just for you. You deserve gentle nights that hush the noise of the world. You deserve a voice that wants to wrap every syllable around your name. Whenever loneliness tries to tap at the windows, remember this moment, this promise that someone out there carries a story meant only for your ears. I straighten just enough to press my